I cycle through a lot of jobs actually every year. So what I tell people is to keep a core job. So if you are working at a job and it's making you $300 a day and you love that job or whatever, stay there. Now go find you a job that makes you $400 a day. And how you're going to do that is you're going to cycle through a bunch of different jobs until you find one. And then when you find one that pays you $400 a day and you like working there, that becomes your new core job. You're going to leave on good terms from the first job. So make sure you leave, put in your 2 weeks, leave on good terms, blah, blah, blah. Then go to that other job, give them or whatever. And then after about 2 or 3 months of doing that, of giving them like really good work, you're going to start applying to other jobs. Again, still stay on good terms with your core job, obviously. But I'm just saying, keep applying and moving on up until you're making as much money as possible, or you find the perfect work cast or whatever the case, whatever you're looking for in the work in your work experience until you find that, and then keep moving up. Also, I cycle through so much jobs because I'm impulsive. Like, I'll just literally move out of the state. I do that. Like, because finding a serving job is just that easy. I will literally decide that tomorrow I don't want to be in Philadelphia anymore, and I'll move to Atlanta, and I'll get a job in Atlanta. That's how impulsive I am. And I've done that multiple times. And then when I do that, I go find a job like Chili's or some shit like that. And I work there. And then I move on up out of Chili's like within 2 weeks. And then out of that within 2 weeks, because I'll move there with no plan, no money, and no job. So got to go get the easiest job I know I can get. And then I'll move on up every 2 weeks until I'm at a decent job. And a decent job for me is somewhere around 250, where I'm like, all right, now I can survive here. And that becomes my core job. And then I do what I just told y'all to do until I'm making about $400 a night. And then that becomes my standard. Also like to work a lot of seasonal jobs. So like in these months when it becomes like December, the October, November, December is when I work my most jobs, because I'm trying to always make, I literally try to make about 40,000 on the back end of the year, because that's where you're going to make most of your money. So there's that.